What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into TTP Sports. And the Phillies, in the first game against the St. Louis Cardinals, it was pretty much a dud. They lose by a score of 3-2, and it was pretty much a nothing fest. But this was also a game that you should say the Phillies probably should have won. CRISTOPHER Sanchez, although it wasn't a pretty outing for him, his command was, once again, just all over the place. He still gives you a quality start. Even though it wasn't the best performance of CRISTOPHER Sanchez, he gave you 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, and a home run allowed on 98 pitches. He only threw 59 strikes, so once again, that does prove that his command is still all over the place, especially with the walks. Walks are something that we're not used to with CRISTOPHER Sanchez, you know, going to last season and just basically his entire tenure in a Phillies uniform. So his command's just basically all over the place. Do I expect him to fix it and get over those hiccups? Yes. Was this a bad start by CRISTOPHER Sanchez? No, it was just a solid start, basically. He still gave you quality, and he still kept you within the ballgame. Bullpen-wise, Matt Strahm gives up a solo shot, which was ultimately the winning run for the St. Louis Cardinals in the top of the 7th inning. He pitched that 1 inning. Kirk Ring gave you a scoreless inning, and same thing with Tanner Banks. But overall, your offense had 9 hits, and you weren't able to hit with runners in scoring position, basically. You went 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position, and realistically, you can't even count the 1 hit that they did have with runners in scoring position because it was realistically an error on Nolan Arenado that allowed the run to score and allowed Edmundo Sosa to beat out a throw to first base. That was basically it. And also, you can say that it should have been a 2-2 game throughout basically the rest of the contest because there was a tailor-made double play, inning double play with the Cardinals having a couple of base runners on with CRISTOPHER Sanchez on the bump, and should have been an easy double play to end the inning, and Edmundo Sosa just, for some reason, rushed the throw at second on the transfer and completely just didn't even come close to throwing it to Bryce Harper, and a run scored because of that, and it gave the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. So if Edmundo Sosa threw the baseball properly and got the double play, because he would have gotten the double play because the runner up the first baseline would not have beaten it out, it should have been charged an error. For some reason, they didn't charge it an error. I don't know why. Just baseball scoring and all that crap. They're just so lenient with giving people, you know, hits and errors and fielder's choices and all that crap. They barely give anybody errors anymore. It's crazy. But, yeah, that run should not have scored because of Edmundo Sosa and his errant throw. So that puts a run on the board for CRISTOPHER Sanchez. The Phillies eventually do tie the game. They tie the game twice. They just can't get those extra hits with runners in scoring position when they're threatening on the base paths. You know, they got a lot of base runners in this game. Had a couple of extra base hits. You know, JT had a double. I think JT actually was the only extra base hit in today's game. Got a couple of singles from Alec Boehm. Trey Turner had another hit in this game. Kyle Schwarber got on base once again. Nick Castellanos had 2 hits in this game. JT had 2 hits, like I said. Bryce Harper, once again, 0 in this game, so it looks like he hasn't carried anything over from Saturday's contest in Cleveland. He went 0-3 with a walk and 2 strikeouts, just some not ugly at-bats, and then just the at-bats once the Cardinals went to the bullpen just wasn't competitive. Wasn't competitive at all, especially when, you know, Lehigh on the mound. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He goes 2 1/3 innings for the Cardinals. He allows 2 hits. You eventually get him out of the game because you get a couple of base runners on. They bring in JoJo Romero to face Bryson Stott. He only throws 2 pitches to get out of that situation on a pop-up. So you need better plate discipline there. You got to just hit the ball where the ball is pitched. You don't pop up in that situation. And then just the 9th inning against Ryan Helsley just wasn't competitive at bats besides Trey Turner. Kepler went down easy on strikes. Marsh went down easy on strikes. Not surprising. And Trey Turner battled to a full count. He just, you know, he blooped one in the right field. Walker comes in with the speed, makes the catch, and you're not able to get on base and not able to get it to Bryce Harper nor Kyle Schwarber with a chance to possibly tie and or win the ball game. So it was a game. It was a missed opportunity. It definitely was. That's just a fact. Just a complete fact right there. So, you know, if you look at throughout this game, Phillies offense, bottom of the first inning, you know, it took a little bit for them to get over everything. Bottom of the first inning, they went down 1-2-3. Nick Castellanos with a leadoff single in the second. Nothing resulted in that. Bottom of the third inning, Trey Turner singles. Harper gets walks with 2 outs, and Kyle Schwarber comes up. He broken bat, you know, flies out basically, so nothing happens there with Schwarber. Top of the 4th inning, this is when the Cardinals get on the board first thanks to Edmundo Sosa's throwing mistake. So Arenado leads off with a walk. Then Contreras flies out the deep center field. And Johan Rojas actually made a pretty good throw on Arenado, who was tagging up on first base, going to second on the play. And he was initially called out, but yes, they did get the right call on the replay in the challenge. He was safe. He barely just got in there. It was a good play by, Johan Rojas. So just, it is what it is at that point. Then eventually Herrera walks, and then on a wild pitch by Christopher Sanchez, Arenado gets to third base because of that. And then Pages, he grounds into a fielder's choice, which should have been a double play, and it cost you a run with the errant throw by Edmundo Sosa. I guess you can also blame Christopher Sanchez on that fact for the wild pitch on the ball four, which allowed Arenado to get to third base in the first place, because even though he probably would have scored on the errant throw regardless if he was on, because he would have been from going second to third. The errant throw probably would have tried to go home on that process. It just wasn't a good play all around there. Was not. So the Cardinals, they go up 1-0. You respond in the bottom of the fourth inning. JT Realmuto with a double, which is one of his very few hits against lefties this year, which is very shocking. Alec Bohm force out, which gets JT to third. Edmundo Sosa with basically the sharp third base. Arenado boots the ball a little bit, which allows Sosa to reach on an infield single, which should have been an error by Nolan Arenado for the bobble. But the Phillies do tie the game up at 1-1. Top five after a couple of base runners. Christopher Sanchez gets out of that. Bottom five, Phillies go down 1-2-3. Top six, Herrera hits a solo shot that just squeaks over the fence to give the Cardinals a 2-1 lead, and that would be the night for Christopher Sanchez after he finishes that sixth inning. Then you go into the bottom of the sixth. Two leadoff singles by Schwarber and Castellanos, so you got first and third for JT Realmuto. Grounds into a fielder's choice. Arenado hesitated on the throw to second base initially, which probably gave JT Realmuto enough time to be safe at first base. The run does score, becomes a 2-2 ball game. Alec Bohm then singles, so you got first and second. Stott comes in the pinch hit for Edmundo Sosa. Cardinals go to the bullpen, bring in the righty, and then Stott flies out to fairly deep center field and then advances JT to third base, and then Max Kepler gets robbed by Contreras over at first, which probably would have been the go-ahead run. Go to the top of the seventh inning. Matt Strahm gets the first two outs, and then Win down 0-1 in the count. Just gets a ball that catches a little too much at the plate. Fastball, that is, and he just gets it over the fence to give the Cardinals a 3-2 lead, and they wouldn't look back from there. Bottom seven, Phillies top of the order, basically, and Brandon Marsh to go down 1-2-3. Kerkering gets a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom eight, this was your chance to tie the game, basically. Schwarber, Castellanos, they both ground out. JT singles, Bohm singles, and then they bring in JoJo Romero to face Bryson Stott. He then pops up to end that inning on two pitches. So that was your chance to tie the game right there. Top nine, Tanner Banks gets a 1-2-3 inning, and then bottom nine, Kepler, 3-pitch strikeout. Strikes out swinging, just could not lay off of that slider by Helsley. Marsh strikes out looking at a backdoor slider on the outside part of the plate. Then you got to be fighting in that at bat a little bit, especially when you're down in the count. And then Trey Turner battles in his account. Is at bat, gets a full count, then he just lines out the right field to end the ball game off. It was a game that you probably should have won, but your bats just were not able to get those timely hits, and that just comes back to not getting too high, not getting too low with this team. Even though they've been playing very much better baseball, they've won 5 series in a row. I'm not going to kill them, but this is also going to come back to the fact where a lot of people have that, the trust issues in the back of their mind, of course, including me as well with this team, where, oh God, they're just showing those signs again of, okay, they're playing much better baseball, but they still show signs of the team that just can't get those timely hits, especially when the times matter. And how is that going to fare if you do get in October? Is it just going to be the same song and dance routine once again? And I don't blame people for feeling like that. I just don't, because I do have those lingering thoughts in the back of my mind, even though for today I'm just not going to kill them. But it's still frustrating nonetheless when you do have those opportunities, and it is for a chance to win the ball game. And yes, also grant that the Cardinals are very hot coming into this game. They just won their 9th in a row tonight. So you're playing a good team. So you're going to lose to good teams. So all you can do is just bounce back like you did against the Cleveland Guardians and win the final 2 games. Tomorrow you're going to have Jesus Luzardo on the mound, and then you're going to have Aaron Nola for Thursday or Wednesday afternoon, actually. But still, those games might also be in jeopardy because of the weather this week. It's supposed to rain all week, basically, especially with tomorrow and Wednesday, so I don't know how that's going to fare. Knowing I say that, they're probably going to try to find a little bit of a squeak hole within the forecast to try to get those games in, so it's basically just a play-it-by-ear point. I think Wednesday's more in jeopardy than Tuesday, but it's like, majority of the stuff is like Tuesday night into Wednesday all day. So we'll just see. We'll just see how everything plays out there. But yeah, it's just very annoying, very frustrating. Go 1-for-7 with runners in scoring position. Just not a good night. Just not a good night overall. Bottom of the lineup basically did nothing. Wilson, he went 0-for-2. When Stott came into the ballgame, he went 0-for-2. Kepler, when he came into the ballgame, he went 0-for-2. Rojas, he went 0-for-2. And when Marsh came into the ballgame, he went 0-for-2. It was basically your 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hitters that were doing some of the damage. That's basically just it. Bryce Harper, I'm not counting in that because he really didn't do anything in this game. Trey Turner 1-for-5, Schwarber 1-for-4, Castellanos 2-for-4, JT 2-for-4, Bohm 2-for-4, Sosa 1-for-2, even though that should have been an error. Yeah, just a very lackluster ball game. That's really just it. And, just a very annoying ball game, I guess you can say, at the end of the day. So, really don't have many people in the chat today, so we'll just get to the Anytime Hotline right now. We'll end it off pretty quickly. We do have a call from Sean, so let's get to that. So let's get that up real quickly. Let's get to Sean.
And that performance tonight, for me, is why I have trouble fully getting on board with this team as a true World Series contender. I mean, we've seen this too often this year, Amadeo. The offense just is dormant. I mean, you cannot ask your starting pitcher to throw a shutout every night. I mean, Suarez did, Wheeler did, Sanchez wasn't great, but he wasn't bad, and Strahm made one mistake. But all in all, your pitching gave up 3 runs. You're at home, you should be able to score 3 runs. But they can't lay a bat on Matthew Liberatore. That guy is Sandy Koufax against the Phillies. And you just saw non-competitive at-bats all night. And, Thompson's been giving guys off here, there, a day off here, a day off there. Maybe you should consider giving Bryce Harper a day off. That guy has been wretched. I mean, what's he hitting now, about 220? I mean, cutting his hair didn't work. It's the same old swing over the top of breaking balls, swing late on fastballs type approach. Tough loss tonight. I mean, give the Cardinals credit. They're hot, playing good ball. But again, offensively, when the homers aren't there, it's tough for this team to win.
And I don't blame you for feeling like that. And also, Bryce Harper, he is batting .232 after tonight's game, which is not good at all. His on bases dipping as the days go along. He's at a .351 on base percentage. His slugging's at .419. So yeah, Bryce is not going to get a day off, though. That's just not going to happen. Bryce is just not going to get a day off. Rob's not going to do that, and it's probably going to be up to Bryce. If Bryce is going to be the guy that just wants to play through it. So I just don't see that happening whatsoever. Yeah, I don't blame people for not saying people to fully buy into this team. I've never said that whatsoever, and I know you're not saying that. I'm saying that, but I don't blame people for having the lingering doubt in the back of their mind. It's warranted. It definitely is. I'm just trying to, when I look at series, I'm just trying to enjoy the baseball season. I'm not trying to look too far ahead. Like when we get there, we do get there. I'm just trying to enjoy what's in front of me currently. And with the 5 series wins in a row, especially including a sweep in there, I've been enjoying my time watching them more than not. But yeah, of course, you're going to be getting these games thrown in there where it's like, oh God, it's just, that approach, that offensive approach, which I don't blame people for feeling like. I really don't. And if we look at the last 2 games of this series, it's going to be Jesus Luzardo against Sonny Gray tomorrow. Sonny Gray is 4-1 with a 3.5 ERA. He is coming off of a 7-inning shutout performance against the Pittsburgh Pirates, and then followed that. And then before, he had 4 1/3 innings against the Mets and allowed 4 earned runs there. So 3 earned runs, 6 innings, 6 innings, 7 innings, and all that stuff. So Sonny Gray's going to go deep into the ball game. You got to find a way to get to him. That's basically it. You got to find a way to get to him. And then on Wednesday afternoon, it's going to be Aaron Nola against Eric Fetty, 3-3 with a 3.86 ERA. But like I did say, these 2 games are going to be quote unquote in jeopardy. But I do say in jeopardy with air quotes because baseball teams don't like postponing games. They don't like going in, even though they go in the rain delays, they don't like postponing games. But when I do look at tomorrow's forecast, it does say 100% chance of rain. Same thing with Wednesday. That's what I saw. Let's see. Yeah. Tuesday says 100% chance of rain. Wednesday, 100% chance of rain. And then there's slight chances from Thursday through next Monday. So we'll see where that goes. That's just on the iPhone weather app. So if I look at Weather Channel just to see what they're saying, yeah, they say Tuesday, 94% chance of rain. Showers early, becoming steady rain later in the day. And then Tuesday night is periods of rain. Chance of rain, 100%. Rainfall around a half an inch. Wednesday, steady rain in the morning. Showers continuing into the afternoon. Chance of rain, 80%. And then Wednesday night, cloudy with occasional showers late at night. Chance of rain, 40%. So we'll see where they do. They'll probably try to find some type of window where they could play the game because I just don't. Even though I say they're in jeopardy, they're probably not going to do that. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not guaranteeing anything at all. At all. At all. So yeah. What else happened today? Oh yeah, the Sixers got the 3rd overall pick in the NBA draft after who was the one guy that was hosting it on ESPN? That completely just like botched everything and gave everybody from the Sixers fan base a complete heart attack, saying that they dropped off of the 6th overall pick and lost it to the Oklahoma City Thunder, but then they ended up getting the 3rd overall pick. Was it Kevin Nagandi? I think it was Kevin Nagandi. So yeah, that was crazy. But then also Dallas winning the 1st overall pick just shows you clear signs that the NBA is fucking rigged. Dallas trades Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers. That whole fiasco happened. And then they win the 1st overall pick. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. You trade Luka to the LA Lakers and we'll give you the 1st overall pick. We'll give you a Cooper Flag. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. It's probably what happened. But hopefully the Sixers should get a good player with that 3rd overall pick. It's good for the fan base. I'm excited for the players. I'm excited for all of us here in Philadelphia. The only person I'm not excited for is Daryl Morey. I don't think Daryl Morey deserves that pick. I just don't. That's how just down I am on the Sixers franchise. As much as I'm excited for that 3rd overall pick, I don't like that it's Daryl Morey still in charge. I really just don't. I don't. Daryl Morey, Elton Brand, that entire front office should have been let go and canned after this season. That's all I'll say on that point. But yeah, just a quick one for you guys. Not much really happened in today's game. We'll be back tomorrow, weather depending on what happens with tomorrow night's game. So yeah, just stay tuned. Maybe something will pop up. If the Phillies do play tomorrow, we'll have a recap. If they don't play tomorrow, maybe there'll be something in the newsworthy to talk about. Maybe the Flyers will finally hire a head coach, or the NFL schedule, with the full release probably. Maybe we'll break down the schedule or something like that. So we'll see. But you'll find something in your subscription feed. Thank you, Don Vito, for also joining the chat and agreeing with me with Daryl Morey. I just don't like that Daryl Morey's in charge still. I don't like it. So, yeah. Phillies lose. Tough one today. But we'll see if they bounce back tomorrow if they do play with the weather. So, appreciate you guys for tuning in that do during the stream, or then eventually tune in when it's not live. If you are, new to the channel, recommend hitting that subscribe button. Does me a great deal of service. You can also drop a like and leave a comment as well. You can also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Do not pass it up. And also follow at TTP Sports on TikTok and Instagram for all that good stuff. So thanks guys for tuning in whenever you do. And